Citizen Kane tells the story of a man who is more of a persona than he is a person. He begins his news empire with the greatest intentions, but in time, his absolute power corrupts him absolutely. Viewers have seen this story arc many times, but the American Film Institute regards Citizen Kane as the best film of all time. What makes this 1941 Orson Welles movie the greatest of all time? The answer can be found in the way Welles uses form to express the content of Citizen Kane. Looking at Movies by Richard Barsom and Dave Monahan defines content as the subject of an artwork and form by the means which that the subject is expressed and experienced. Basically, according to Barsom and Monahan, all elements of a film are carefully chosen and controlled by filmmakers to produce each movie's form. The breakfast scene in Citizen Kane best exemplifies how the film uses form to show the deterioration of a marriage. The first way Welles manipulates the form is by making the breakfast scene a flashback. Manipulating the time of this scene has two effects. One, it allows the story to be told from an unbiased third party so the audience can see where the conflict truly occurs. And two, it allows the marriage's deterioration to be shown quickly and clearly. Welles next manipulates the form through his use of deep space composition. In the first scene of the breakfast scene montage, Welles utilizes deep space composition. One can see the entirety of the table at which Kane and Emily sit near each other, clearly in love. Then, the scene fades out and the camera spins to represent the passing of time. In the next scene, deep space composition is not utilized. It is clear that the two are sitting at opposite ends of the table now, and the camera switches back and forth between the two. The audience does not see them in the same shot as they did before. Additionally, the setup of the table changes as the scenes progress. In the first scene, the table is minimally set, with only a teapot and some plates. The next scene shows a flower plant in front of Emily, representing the divide beginning to form in the marriage. The next scene shows the flowers have grown bigger, and the couple's dialogue grows more isolating as well. Following that, the scene shows the flowers have disappeared, suggesting that the flowers have died and there is no hope for this conflict's resolution. The final scene of the montage reveals a new barrier. Emily reading the Chronicle, the Inquirer's rival newspaper. Kane reads the Inquirer. The camera then zooms out for the first time since the beginning of the montage to reveal the two, sitting in the shadows at opposite ends of a table. It is worthy to mention that this table appears to be much longer than the table shown in the first scene of the montage. Herman J. Mankiewicz was the screenwriter for Citizen Kane. According to writer Ben Guaraldi, Mankiewicz is attributed with bringing the multiple flashback aspect to the plot of Citizen Kane. Additionally, Greg Toland, the film's cinematographer, is credited with the film's use of deep space photography. Because of this, Citizen Kane can be compared to John Ford's 1940 film, The Long Voyage Home. According to George Turner, quoted on the Great Encyclopedia of Cinematographers, The Long Voyage Home is where Toland experimented with many of the concepts that would distinguish Citizen Kane. For example, deep, sharply limed images and using floor lighting as opposed to overhead lighting. Clearly, what we see in films is not accidental or by chance. A story is truly played out not only by its content, but also by its form. And the most legendary movies are sensitive to this.